Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to writing. We're coming to the end of our unit, and as we do and we prepare to publish our poems, we have to go through our poems and kind of tidy them up a little bit before we can fancy them up. So we're going to take a look at this editing checklist that I made up. It's kind of specifically for poetry, but we're going to check our poems against this checklist. First, we're going to check for spelling. Then we're going to check for punctuation, which can be a little tricky with poetry because punctuation isn't really important in poetry at certain times, and then at certain times it's really important. So we'll go back and take a look at that. We're going to go back and see if there's anything that we can do to show instead of tell. Remember that anchor chart we were talking about in our last lessons. And then, of course, as we do with anything we write, we're going to reread it and make sure that it makes sense. So I'm going to just take one poem that I've written, and this is a color poem about pink, and I'm going to go through the checklist and go through my poem and make sure that I've hit all the points and I'm ready to publish. So I'm going to look first for spelling, and I'm a pretty good speller, as most of you are. So I can look at the spelling slide that's after this just to check any of the words, but I already see here, pink feels like a soft petal of a, and I want to say rose here, and so it has to have a long O. So I think, I'm going to circle this because I think this might be wrong, and I'm going to check it later against my spelling chart on the next slide. But I think that I might need a magic E at the end of that. I'm looking through the rest, and I'm going to say, I think that the spelling might be pretty good here. So I'm going to check off that part. Now, punctuation, I'm going to go through and read the poem super quick and see if there's any punctuation I can put at the end of my lines. There's nothing here now. Pink feels like a soft petal of a rose. I could use a comma here so that the reader will pause and take a breath. Pink tastes like a starburst. Well, I can pause and take a breath, or I can take a really long pause and put a period. Maybe I'll do that. Pink smells like bubblegum medicine. Here, I think I'm going to put a dash because that kind of means that I'm going to continue on the next line. Pink sounds like the Ice Cream Man song. Again, I think I might put a comma there. Pink looks like rosy cheeks. And I think here, since it's the end, I'm going to end it with a period. So I checked for punctuation. Now this is kind of a little bit of a tricky part because I want to go back and I kind of maybe want to add a few details, maybe a few of those describing words, and kind of add some interest to the poem a little bit if I can show things. So I noticed that I'm not really happy with this line. Pink sounds like the Ice Cream Man song, because I think I want to put one of these. These are called carrots, if you can remember that. And I'm going to insert something here. Pink sounds like the tinkle of the Ice Cream Man's song, because that song, when he runs through the neighborhood, kind of sounds like a little tinkling to me. So that shows it a little bit better than telling it. Pink looks like rosy cheeks. I kind of think I want to add too, because I want to really show a little bit more of those rosy cheeks. Pink looks like rosy cheeks on a warm spring day. And then I'll put the period there, cross that out there. All right. And then the last thing, I'm going to reread it. Does it make sense? So this is the part where you might have to add a couple of words just to have it make a little bit more sense. So I'm going to read it one more time and see if I'm satisfied. Pink feels like a soft petal of a rose. Pink tastes like a starburst. Pink smells like bubblegum medicine. Pink sounds like the tinkle of an ice cream man's, I'm going to move that over, of the Ice Cream Man song. Pink looks like rosy cheeks on a warm spring day. Pretty happy about that poem. I think I did everything on my checklist. Now, I could rewrite this in my best handwriting, and fix all of the mistakes, and then take it over to my next lesson where I'm going to publish it. And I'm going to get all of my poems together, and I'm going to get ready to kind of fancy it up like we do in the classroom with pretty tape and colored markers. So take a look at the next slide, and you're going to see what to do next with your stories and your poems. Off you go, writers.